What it is, folks, your homeboy Ferg back again with another episode of the realest, most entertaining sports show in the game. Put it on something. Solo dolo for the promo right now, but you will see my brother Tim G. Jacob later on in the program. You feel me? Jackson State and North Carolina Central will face off this weekend for the Black National Championship, okay, in the Celebration Bowl. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Before we do, make sure y'all go ahead and hit that subscribe button, put all your people on it. Feel me? Put all your people on it. I appreciate y'all for last week. You know what I'm talking about? All of y'all that viewed. You know what I'm talking about? I appreciate you. Let's keep it going. You feel me? Let's take a look at North Carolina Central. Okay? They coming into the Celebration Bowl with a record of 9-2. 4-1 record in their conference, the MEAC. Okay, they are the MEAC champions. You feel me? They had wins over North Carolina A&T, Winston-Salem State, New Hampshire, Virginia Lynchburg, Morgan State, Delaware State, Howard, Norfolk State, and a squeaker versus Tennessee Tech, 22-20. Okay. They suffered losses at the hands of Campbell, which they got blown out 48-18, and that's what had folks thinking that Campbell was going to come to Jackson and whoop our ass, okay? So, of course, that didn't happen. All right. And they suffered a loss to the team that did whoop our ass last year, South Carolina State. They lost South Carolina State by a score of 26-24, okay? In terms of the respective rankings of each team, in terms of their offenses and defenses, okay? We're going to start with defense. Y'all know this is for a championship, and defense wins championships. So let's start with defense first, all right? In terms of scoring defense and SWAC rankings, Jackson State is number one, all right, giving up 11.3 points per game. North Carolina Central was number two in the MEAC, all right, giving up 20.4 points per game. In terms of scoring offense, Jackson State was number one as well in the SWAC, okay, scoring 38 points per game. North Carolina Central was number one in the MEAC, actually averaging more points than us, okay, by a few tenths, I should say, okay. They averaged 38.4 points per game. Now, in terms of FCS ranking, Jackson State defense was the best in the country, number one. Shout out to Coach Thurman. Shout out to all the coaches on the defensive side of the ball. Shout out to all the defenders over there, including my boy Albert Miller. You know what I'm talking about. But we were number one in the entire country, giving up only 11.3 points per game, as I mentioned previously. North Carolina Central was right outside of the top 10 nationally, okay, with that 20.4 points per game. They were number 11, okay. In terms of the offense, we were number eight nationally, with that 38 points per game. And North Carolina Central was number 6 nationally, scoring 38.4 points per game again. All right. So they can score the ball. Okay. They can put up some points. They haven't seen a defense like ours yet, though. But we bullshitting. They can put up some points. Okay. They are led by their do-it-all quarterback, Mr. Richard. Mr. Richard led them in rushing as well, y'all. Okay? This young man was their leading rusher with 691 yards on the ground. That bested Mr. Collier, okay, who ran for 611 yards. In terms of a passer on the year, Mr. Richard went 184 out of 291 for a 62% completion percentage. He threw for 2,486 yards, 226 yards per game, 24 touchdowns through the air, and 10 picks. All right. Top receivers was Mr. Hicks with 30 catches for 529 yards and 7 touchdowns. Mr. Smith, 35 catches for 496 yards and 6 touchdowns. And Mr. McCall, only 15 catches, but still 305 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he must be one of them guys that run the go route. Okay. So those are the numbers. But let's not bullshit, because y'all come to me for that real, right? That's why you're here. That's not bullshit. This game is going to come down to whether Jackson State University is focused. Okay. Now, I said the same thing about the Southern game, the SWAC championship. They came out early and handled business. They handled business. Okay. They got to do it again. We saw last year in the Celebration Bowl, I would argue, Coach Prime did argue, that they were overconfident, kind of overlooked the team. Remember the news about Travis coming to Jackson State? It just hit. So I really don't think we were locked in, and it showed offensively. Okay. South Carolina State was able to force turnovers and get some short fields, and they took advantage of that. Okay. This year, the distractions are even worse. They are. Okay. But I think the young men will lock in. This is why. Despite all the things that have been said by outsiders, by motherfuckers defending Coach Prime, by people like myself who've been critical of Coach Prime, there's a unique relationship between player and coach. There's a unique relationship. I think you've seen that in the fact that some of his players have come out defending him, which is to be expected. Again, players love their coach. I still love to this day when I see my high school basketball coach. I still get that little sense of being a kid again. Because this man helped raise me. You know what I'm saying? I can still hear him teaching the life lessons that he taught me. I still hear him. I quote him through the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm tired, I quote him and I say, "Tired of living, scared of dying." That's something he used to say. He used to tell us, about certain things that he knew that when we grew up, we were going to see. We might not believe what he was saying at that moment. He'll just tell us, keep living. Keep living. Just all these little things. The race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but he who endures to the end. Okay. He would say that from the Bible. Like, I love the man. His name is Keith Barnes, Sr., by the way. He's the head basketball coach for the women's team at Tougaloo College. Shout out to Coach. I love you. Okay. Daniel Mentors, one of my coaches from right around here in Canton. Coach Roy Luckett. Like, these are my coaches. I love them. So the unique relationship between player and coach, I believe that despite all this shit, kids still gonna be locked in with Coach Prime. And also, young men like these, especially when they're jocks, they don't really get the bigger societal stuff that like some of the people like me are saying. They don't get into all of that. They care about football. They go to class and make sure they do what they gotta do to be able to play football and they graduate. They don't get into all this other shit. So they're not even seeing that like that. You feel me? So I think they'll be locked in. I think they will. Shit, I hope they will. Because it'd be hell if we take a loss to go on top of the loss from last year, then to go on top of the disappointment with Coach Prime leaving. You feel me? But I don't think that's gonna happen. I told y'all from the moment the schedule came out, and we did a segment, we looked at the schedule. And while some people were saying Jack State may lose 2 games, they might even lose 3. I looked at the schedule. I saw we weren't playing in the money game. Weren't trying one of these FBS opponents like we did last year with Louisiana Monroe. I said, book it. Going undefeated. And now we got our chance. All we got to do is get this last one. Win another Black National Championship. Add to an already rich legacy. for one of the blue blood programs in HBCU sports. That's what's about to happen. That's my prediction. What's yours? Put it on something.
Thank you so much for watching my daddy's YouTube channel. Make sure you like, share, and turn on your post notifications. Okay, how do I do it?